What's up, everybody? Sorry about the 30-minute late start. Tor and I both
we got a little sidetracked, just a little.
We were doing stuff that we were going to be doing on stream. Yeah, I'm working on a prototype for it's a collab between Digital Forge and the Printing Pilot, which we have the Printing Pilot. He makes those volume control sliders, and him and I are working on smart home stuff together. And we'll be selling these on the Digital Forge site as well as the TH3D site. Since obviously I own Digital Forge as well. But I wanted to start breaking more into the smart home and DIY electronics type market. So I'm assembling this right here. This is the PCB for the what we're going to call a smart LED board. This is going to be a series of boards that you can pop an ESP on. You see right here, we got the ESP32 Super Mini. This is actually the one we sell in the TH3D shop. It's a really nice board, and we're going to have it modular. And I am hand assembling boards right now. So that's what I'm working on. Tor, do you want to show off your...
Well, I was working on this. I'm now finished, but I just put together the Stealth Press S1 by Iconic Fab.
Is that a full kit, or is it kind of like an open source design where you got to source everything yourself?
There are kits available. I already have.
You can self-source.
Yeah, and I think the drawer add-on is $5, but the files for the press itself is free. I'm really happy with the design, so I grabbed the drawer as well. Cute little thing.
Yeah, I just realized the C3s I have, they only come with the regular pin headers and not the socketed ones, but I have some in my junk drawer.
Hey, Tom.
So I did send Tom the link to the stream, so he might pop in.
David, so you built one of these a couple of weeks ago. Nice.
So I got to solder the headers onto the C3, which this is the same C3 that I put in my Tinker bundle. And if you know what's in the Tinker bundle, that's everything you need. You can actually run the LEDs off of right off the ESP's header. Now, I'm not going to perma solder this to there. I'm just using this basically to hold the C3 in place while I tack the headers on. So the headers do not come pre-soldered to these, because some people don't use the headers. In this application, though, we are using the headers. So,
David, I have the TS100. I also have a Pine Sill, but I use that as like an actual soldering iron.
What's a pine sill?
Soldering iron. It's like a TS100 variant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked
Oh,
at those, and I had a TS100. This was a number of years ago, and I ended up returning it because after about, I don't know, I want to say like 4 or 5 days of using it pretty heavily, it just died. So I'm not a fan of them. This is a I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but this is a very expensive Hako. It's about 400 something dollars, and it's a direct heat type iron, which I like. It's great for working on stuff with big ground planes because it can pump a ton of heat into it, and it's very responsive. Heats up in about 6 seconds to like 400
I
400
like the
speed.
Pine Sill a lot better than the TS100. It's like the updated, more recent,
Yeah,
but it's from
there's
someone else.
I've looked at those and like I was like, I mean, to give me an idea, I've had this iron for almost 5 years now, and I have soldered thousands of times with it. So, and it's always treated me well. Is it the cheapest? Absolutely not. But one thing I learned is that when you're doing stuff like this fairly regularly, you want to have good tools, and I don't want to be fighting with the tools. You know what I mean?
Well, I got
So,
mine because, uh, like when I went out and flew drones more often, I wanted
oh,
something
isn't
that
that
I
a
could just
USB
power up.
C?
Yeah, USB C.
Yeah, this is not USB C. No, I can see that appeal. Use whatever you
Yeah,
want. It's your
like
guys. I tell people use whatever you want. It's your tools. Um, I will keep buying Hako irons just because I've never had one die on me ever. My old
yeah,
FX, what is it, 990? What is the popular one? It's like around 100, 120 bucks, like the FX 880 something D. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
It's like tons of people use it. It's a very popular iron, and for good reason. It's well priced now, and it lasts long. Now, the only thing I will say is the direct heat irons like the TS100 is a direct heat iron if memory serves correctly, because it depends on um, the stuff you put in. So like this one, I can swap the tips. The whole thing comes out and it goes down into the handle right to about here. There's contacts. So same kind of idea. This one's just more expensive. Um, but
Thank
I
you.
mean, I'll give them this. I have not had to replace any of these tips, and I have used them heavily, so they do hold up. Like this tip, is the one I use the most. I've got a couple different ones. I got chisel tips. I got super fine ones. I usually use the chisel tips for doing like heated beds. Like this will do a heated bed. Can your TS100 do a heated bed?
I've actually done. I desoldered my S4 bed when I switched over to the Kinovo. I used it to desolder the S4 bed with it. Well,
Okay.
it'll work. It wasn't fast.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just massive
Yeah.
cooling.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, I mean, the big thing is this can do all my tiny stuff. This can do all my big stuff. Um,
well,
I'm
most of the
almost
stuff
done.
I
I'm
was
actually
doing,
almost done assembling this. So I don't know if I
the
show. I don't think I've
S4.
even showed you this, have I, Tor?
I saw the blank PCB.
Yeah. So we're gonna have all the I/O pins are gonna be broken out onto some pin headers here, so you can actually tack on other sensors and stuff. But this is a 5 volt only one. This is the first version we're going to do. So this is a 5 volt only one, which is why we have such beefy terminals. So you can do 3 amps per channel through this. So you can see the BFS traces there. We have a diode here for reverse polarity protection. We've got a 3 amp resettable fuse on each of the LED outputs. You've got your
Uh,
positive. So on here, you've got your positive, your signal in the center, and then your ground on the other one. These are
all right.
nice locking connectors. So these are JST
Uh,
VHs, I believe.
David,
Is the
yes, the 100 has the heat boost as well, but I have the like community firmware on that iron.
Yeah, that's the thing that I wish it worked, because I was like, man, it's so cool. I get an open source soldering iron to solder my open source projects. So um yeah, I just never I got a Hako and never looked back. So
Jay, it's more for a home assistant, but you can
yeah,
use.
so this yeah, so this is So the reason I started Digital Forge Systems, and I've mentioned it a couple times on here, is because there's products that like we could sell on TH3D and we will sell on TH3D, but they're not completely printer focused. They're just more techy and smart devices. So that's why I started that other company. But there obviously there's a lot of people in the 3D printing space that I'm trying to find something to space this
There's
out
some
so I can solder this
crossover, yeah.
headline. Yeah, there's like a crossover between the markets. Hang on, I'm just gonna tack the corner on for this lead. Probably should have put this. I probably should have started with the shortest components first, and then put the taller ones on. But yeah, no. So this is just an LED controller. It'll have Wi-Fi interface. It'll integrate with Home Assistant. You can run ESP Home on it. That's what the target firmware that we're going to be running on here. So you can have it control lights for whatever. It could be for your printer. It could be for your room, your TV, whatever. But this will have 2 light channels on it, and then this expansion header I'm soldering. See all the traces for the GPIOs go into here. This will be for future expansion. So my plan is to kind of work with Tom to make like kind of a smart home ecosystem of boards that use kind of standard off the shelf ESP modules. So they're easily replaceable. They're easily moddable,
Fully supported Home Assistant, of course.
Yeah. So it'll work at Home Assistant. You could even use it like, I think, doesn't Clipper have support for WLED? And I don't know if they have ESP Home. I think they have WLED support though.
Pretty sure they do.
But you can also just write macros where it calls to a URL, which you can point at the Wi-Fi chip on this. So, but
Tim,
yeah, I
since you're
mean,
in chat, DeWitt, Tim. Canada, Tim.
oh
This
yeah,
is
what's
what
going
I've
on
been
with your
working
postal service? We cannot even make labels to go to Canada right now. The post office will not even create labels to go to Canada because of the strike right now.
I need to glue
Which
in.
is
I need to
wild.
play with the design, but yeah, I'm getting just about done with the magnetic hinges. Actually, what I'm going to be working on right now.
All right. Steam just popped up that there's an autumn sale. Did you
I'm not happy with Steam.
Oh yeah, there is an autumn sale. Wasn't there a
Yeah.
winter sale?
It should be a winter sale. I don't know why it's the autumn sale.
Okay,
But,
I'm gonna see if I
not,
soldered everything right, and we're gonna put
I'm not
5
happy
volts
with
into
Steam.
this. Why? What
I
did they do?
I wanted the Steam Deck, the OLED. I was like, I'll just wait for the. There we go. I'll just wait for the sale to go on for Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Cool.
Well, they put the LCD version, which they've had on sale a dozen times now, but not the OLED.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Nobody wants the LCD version. They want the OLED. Even Doug said
the
you want
OLED
the
is so much. It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's better refresh rate.
Oh, I see, David. So these are going to be fully assembled. All you'll have to do, this is how they'll come. So these are the prototypes. You can see this is version 0.1. All you'll have to do is pop the C3 module in right here and plug your LEDs in, and you can give it power via a screw terminal. So you can go 5 volts in here or the barrel jack. Or if you're only running a small amount, like, one little strip, you can actually power through the USB-C here. So like if you notice when I plug this in to my computer, you can see the 5 volt LEDs on, the green LEDs on. So we got the 5 volt rail, 3.3 volts. So we got status lights here, which I'm a big fan. I might put
LCD's been on closeout for a while, David.
Yeah,
they've stopped making them, and they're only doing the OLED version now. But they have so much stock of the LCD that they're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, and I can tell my capacitor is working on here.
Good second or two.
Yeah, you can see the LED fades out, the 5 volt LED. So we have a 5 volt on here to smooth, or a little capacitor on here to smooth out when you kick the lights on if they have a big surge. We got a little bit of a buffer here with the cap just to kind of smooth it out, because basically you feed it 5 volts, it powers the ESP. The ESP also has 3.3. So on this header, we have not only GPIO pins, but we also have the 3.3 volt and the 5 volt as well. So you can basically, the use case for this would be, oh, you want to add another LED on, you can tack a little leg off one of the GPIO pins and provide a power off board. You can put a temperature sensor, you can put a door and window sensor, whatever you want. They're IO pins. You can hook whatever you want up to it that will talk to the firmware on the board here. So what I'm actually going to do, which is why I'm doing this on stream, is I'm actually going to take I'm going to take a Neo, or one of our easy Neos here, and I'm just going to try to think of how I'm going to bodge this on for now, because I don't have the female connectors for these. These are the male plugs. I don't have the females yet. And the reason we did these is I didn't want to do like these small JST XHs because they're not rated for 3 amps. So these plugs are actually rated for 3 amps. You can see they're pretty damn beefy. They're also really easy to work with, whether you're going to crimp. I'm probably going to include some pigtails with these boards. So basically the board will come with the pigtails that you can then solder onto or crimp onto. You know what I mean? But yeah, so the goal is ESP home or WLED. If you're just running as an LED controller, you can use WLED on this chip. So we plug this into the computer, we flash the chip, and then this turns it into an LED controller. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to see if I have, trying to think of what headers I have to clip onto these. I could also just tack the leads on, but I really don't want to do that. What is the best way to go about this? I don't think I have any of these JST VH plugs though.
That out. I did. Emerson wants to know when you're doing the K2 plus. Sorry, K3 plus, from what he said.
I'm wondering if the pin pitch is the same. Oh, they're slightly too big. I was like, I could steal some screw terminals off of a dead board here. See? Fried. So probably came from a customer, but I keep boards like this around to pull like parts. Oh yeah, it's fried. Oh, this is a good one. Look how good, like this customer did not screw around with frying the board.
Oh, I remember that one.
Look at the drivers. See the holes in all the drivers? Yeah. I was like, what's fried on this one? It looks okay. Then I look at the drivers.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you short shit out. Just gonna test. I'm just gonna use some DuPonts off the IO header here, and I'll just, because we have the same GPIO pins that go to these. They're also broken out on here as well. So just gotta look at the schematic
Also,
really quick.
Tim,
Figure out
we
which one
can
it
hear
is.
you when you were saying about the K2.
Oh, because I'm on my boom mic. I'm not on my headset today.
Oh, Emerson, someday. HB, K1C or Bamboo P1S? If you want to do
multicolor.
Yeah, if you want to do multicolor, the P1S.
However, I'm pretty sure Creality is going to give support for the CFS to the K1s though. That's what
They would have to make
hearing.
some sort of adapter because they use the same plug as the Bamboo. Also, Emerson wants to know when you're doing your unboxing.
When I'm doing it, I'm not sure. All right, so
I tried to get him to do it today. Good Lord, Mr.
No, it was not happening today. All right, so we got 5 volt here. I got ground here. So these last 2 pins are ground. And then I need to just follow the traces here. to figure out what IO pin is on here. We got this one. It lights up. Okay, so connector 1, so channel 1, so CN1 goes to this thing here. So this is just me testing. This is the kind of stuff I usually do off camera, but the purpose of these streams is for us to hang out and work on stuff that we need to work on. And then next week, I'm going to be working on the new easy plugs. Woo! It's the first time I've said that on stream, the new easy plugs. I have them here. I have a couple that are hooked up and have been in operation for a little bit. So see what I did here? Just doing that really quick just for testing. I think what I might do is either we could probably add, we have enough room on the board, we could probably add like a 3-pin JST behind these. We'd have to shift this up, but we do have room on here. Depending on where the V is, like we might have to move some of the IO pins, but either way, for now, this will work. Or I can just get adapters to go from the VH to the 3-pin JST. I can have those cables made. It would not be that expensive, like probably 10, 15 cents a piece if I'm getting hundreds of them, you know. All right. So that's going to GPIO. Which one is that? GPIO 1. Okay, so that's GPIO 1. I'm going to power this. I'm going to flash this with WLED. Now, if you got Tim's Tinker bundle, you could do the same kind of thing with the DuPonts. You just tack the DuPonts onto whatever IO pins in the 5-volt and ground, and then you have your own Wi-Fi LED controller. Won't be as pretty as this, but you can make your own LED controller. All right, I'm going to try to install WLED on here right now. Hang on.
Here you go. I have an example.
What's that?
LED strip, little plug. Just jumper it onto the back.
That's literally all you need to do to make us a Wi-Fi LED strip with our Easy Neos and a Super Mini. It's literally that simple. You have a 5 volts, hook it up a GPIO pin, and then flash the firmware on the board.
Well, so I'm gonna screenshot that and send it to him right now.
He's gonna file charges for sexual harassment from Josh. All right, it says it's erasing.
Do it.
Okay.
Done. Sent.
It says it's erasing. I'm on GPIO 1. Oh, actually, I can show you. So I'm actually just using the WLED website, which is actually really nice. Did you know WLED has like a website that will install it on your board? So I literally just plugged this ESP into my computer. I selected the COM port it was on, and it just flashed it.
Amazing.
It's super nice. All right, installation complete. Okay, now I need to put on my network. So I'm going to put that in.
I keep printing these out, these little hinges. For some reason, one hinge will print the hole in a different size. Like they're all the same size in the slide.
In the CAD? Is it how it's exporting? You check the export? See if the export was correct. It's probably some slicer setting then.
Right? It's like I don't know why. Just one of them is just too loose for the magnet to fit in nicely.
Yeah, it'd help if I put the right Wi-Fi network name in.
I mean, sometimes.
Because I was like, man, it's taking a long time to connect. There it goes. Bam. All right, so that's it. I have it flashed. Here we go. So this is the interface. You guys will be able to see. Here, I'll make them a little bigger so you can see. So this is the bare install of WLED. And remember, we're on GPIO 1, so I'm going to go to LED preferences. I'm going to tell it. So we have the Easy Nail strip. That's 15, right? That's 15?
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
hey, Jeff.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, 15. Okay, so I'm going to tell I have 15. I have 15. So I have 15. What?
I said he's about to revoke that friend request. Blasto.
Okay, so I'm going to uncheck the brightness limiter. I think GRB works for us, so we're on GPIO 1.
Yes, GRB.
I'm gonna hit save. And look at, do you see the lights turn on? Hang on, let me turn my, see our lights are on?
Hey.
So the lights are on. Let me set the brightness to full. There we go. And I can change the colors. Look at that. I can do full white. I can change the brightness here. I can switch between, like, it'll do like a virtual color temperature shift. Isn't that kind of cool for the RGB? It also does, like, there's different like patterns and stuff. Let me zoom out so you guys can see it. Isn't that cool?
It's weird that it's like stopping at one and then restarting at another though.
What do you
Or
mean?
whatever. I think it was the Aurora. Or whatever one you
Maybe
had before.
Android.
Yeah, see, it's stopping at like fourth to last, and then
Yeah,
going.
it's just the pattern. They're different patterns. Some of these have, like, it even has like music support and stuff too if you had a microphone on there.
I've played around
But
with
yeah.
that before.
Yeah, WLED is cool. Bouncing balls. Isn't that cool?
Jeff, it arrived Wednesday.
It's sitting in my living room. So yeah, look at it. Just like that. I have an LED controller. So if you guys bought my Tinker bundle, Tor, do you want to show your little hodgepodge that you have?
What?
Your hodgepodge of lights. You had lights that you're showing where you just linked them together. So, and I'm powering this over the USB-C. Yeah. So, yep. 3 wires to the ESP. That's it. That's all you need. And put WLED, tell it what pin it's on, just like I did, just there. So I just told it what pin it's on, and now we have LED light controller, and I can change. I can do different colors too with the effects. I can go back to solid and just change it. So, like, yeah, so bright. It's even worse. But yeah, like you can see it. You see how smooth it is. Hopefully, it's coming through on the video. But like, the 8266s are still pretty good for lights, but like for NeoPixels, man, the 32s, they're so smooth. Like, look how responsive and smooth this is. Like, look at this. It's so cool. But yeah. So imagine this. So the cool thing is this is just a little strip, right? Imagine running like hundreds of LEDs off here. That's why these connectors are so beefy. You'll be able to drive over 200 LEDs off of these two connectors, so like 100 per channel. It really depends on the LEDs, but typically that's the goal, is you can drive a lot of LEDs off of this little board here. So, which I think is pretty cool. There's a little candle effect, which you can also then change the color of the candle effect. You see it's kind of like, it's like pulsing a little bit. Probably see it better with it on the edge there. But yeah, you can do a breathe effect, and you can change the colors. So I'm like changing the colors in the web UI. And then this is that chase one, which you can then you can also change the colors of the effect too. This one's called drip. Dynamic. Ooh, fancy. Dynamic smooth. Fairy Twinkle Fire 2012. Oh, that would actually kind of look cool in like a diffused lamp. You know what I mean?
And a lamp. LED easy neo lamp.
Yeah. It's cool. So this is fireworks, it says. Oh yeah, I've seen this one. So it just kind of lights up individual pixels and fades them out. Fireworks 1D, fireworks starburst. Oh, that's cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I like that. Grav center. I like that a lot, actually. That looks freaking cool. Grav centric. Grav frequency. Gravimeter. Halloween eyes. Oh yeah, this one just kind of looks like it like lights up 2 pixels. It kind of looks like eyes. Heartbeat. ICU. I don't know what ICU is. Juggle. Yeah, there's tons. There's tons of different effects in here. I like them. I like playing with lights. But yeah, it's pretty cool. What does chat think? Or are you guys not excited about RGBs as I am? Pixel Wave. Oh, I like that a lot. That looks cool as shit.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that. That's called Pixel Wave. Now this does show that it's got like a little music note next to it. I wonder how hard it'd be to make a like a microphone module to plug onto that expansion header. See, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about future. I put the header there so we can plan for future little add-ons that just plug onto it. I like that one. That's probably my favorite one, the Pixel Wave. It just looks cool.
It would be cool to have like a little lamp thing, a diffused lamp.
Yeah. This one's called Railway. Why is it Railway? I don't get it. Rolling Balls. That one's kind of lame. Saw. Scan Duel. That one's not really doing much. Scan. Scanner Duel. Okay. Sinleon Duel. I'm trying to think. There was a cool one I liked. Okay, so this is the one I run on my pinball machines. This is called Solid Glitter. So you can change the color, and you see it like flashes pixels randomly with the white color. So under my pinball machines, I have one of these, and I have the EasyNeo strip directly tacked onto the I/O pins and the 5-volt in the ground, and I powered over a USB-C adapter. And I have these firing downward underneath the cabinet at the floor. So if you look, like, that's what it kind of looks like under all my pinball cabinets. And I have one's red, one's red, one's blue, and then one's like a orange. But it's kind of cool because it has a solid color, but then it's more than just, oh, look at, I changed my color to blue. It's like, oh cool, I got little pop effects. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Sparkle and Sparkle Dark. What's Sparkle Dark? Sparkle Plus. It's not very sparkly. Strobe Mega. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Robert, yes, that would work with WLED.
What would?
This.
What?
The kit. It would work with WLED, yeah.
That's what I'm running right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running it right now. Right here.
Robert was asking.
Yeah. So for just LEDs, WLED is the way to go, in my opinion. Mainly because of all these cool pre-made like effects. Like, they're so cool. You can also like sync them up. So if you turn this on, you can have it sync with other lights. Like, there's a ton of stuff. So like if you go into the LED preferences, this is where you set like how many pixels you have, what IO pin it is. You can even have it skip the first couple segments LEDs, because maybe you have LEDs that are not viewable, but you didn't want to cut the strip or something. But you can see here, look at the memory usage. Let's see if I told it 500. Oh yeah, this 32 can handle a shit ton of. Oh, it went over. So 500 was like 1,000.
Like, nah.
Use less than 800 LEDs per output. Okay, well that's a lot of freaking LEDs. If we had 800 LEDs,
Yeah, a few.
Yeah, just a few. But yeah, so you can select like different options. Like, it's very customizable. This is an open source project. You can change how the web UI looks. You can even like do custom CSS and whatnot. It's really cool. There's also like different spots to set your time server if you want to go to a different time server, because you also do stuff based on time and date too. So you time controlled presets. You can have it change the preset. So you're wondering what this is. Like, it's just a number. Each of these presets here So you can set a preset. So if I go and set a preset, you set the ID. So you could have, based on a schedule, different presets loaded at a different time based on their ID, if that makes sense. And then like the sync interfaces, so you can actually like put these in different groups. So if you have a bunch of lights, you can have a bunch of ones that are just like slaves, and you can have the master. So like I can say, okay, this one is going to take over all, like this is the master one. So I'm going to tell it to just all these sync groups that it's going to send to. And let's say I was configuring the slave one. Well, I can say, okay, this is going to be enabled on receive one. Typically, you only want to do like one group. There are use cases where you use multiple groups, but for let's say you just have like, I don't know, all your printer lights are in group one, and then like your desk lights are in group two. You could have a master light that then controls all the other ones, and they sync up with each other on the network, which is pretty cool. So and this also supports here, you can do E131 for you guys that are doing like more professional stuff. WLED supports the E131 protocol. It also supports ArtNet, and then you can also just do custom port setup as well. E131 is a pretty standard like commercial control for lighting and stuff. So, but yeah, you can also do MQTT as well. You can put in your MQTT broker, your password and everything, or your username and password for the MQTT broker. It can also too talk to a Philips Hue bridge. So it can also emulate a Philips Hue light. So if you already have Philips Hues, you can start making your own and stop buying the overpriced Philips Hues crap that's, you know, locked down to the cloud and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a really simple interface, especially for the back end, but like it's just such a cool thing. And you guys saw like how quickly I flashed. I literally flashed it. I came in here. I went to I came in here, went to LED preferences. I told it how many I had, what pin it was on, hit save, and then it started working. So like just show you like, so by default it goes to 2. So the lights are just going to not change anymore. And if I replug them, they're not going to be on. So, you know, I can go in here and like change my colors around. You see nothing happens because the pin isn't set right. So if I go to LED preferences, put that, I know it's on GPIO 1, hit save. See how quick that was? Just pops it right up. But you can turn them on and off. So you see here that they have a master power button, so you can turn it on, turn it off. And you can also change the colors. Now, if I wanted to add this into Home Assistant, all I would have to do is go over to Home Assistant here, and I don't think it found it because it's on a different VLAN. If it was on the same VLAN, I think it'll find it. I'm going to test this really quick. I don't think it'll show my password. No, it won't.
What's the best way to power an RPi on a printer with 5-volt?
I have 2 transformers that failed. Transformers that failed? What is that? What do you mean transformers? Like power adapters for the Pi? Is that what you're talking about?
I use either like an actual 5-volt, 5-amp power supply.
I need to find what adapter or what IP it went on, because I went over to a new network here. So let's see. So I love the Unify stuff, man. Let's see.
Where is it?
Here we go. WLED. Yep, it's this one because it's on the AP. It's on the AP garage.
I've also used these.
Hey, there we go. So I got the new IP. So let's see. I'm curious to see if Home Assistant will pick this up by default. So if I do, I don't know if, have you ever, so all my the reason I don't know if Home Assistant natively will just find a new WLED device on the network is because all of mine are on a separate VLAN. So they've never been on the same VLAN as my Home Assistant box. My Home Assistant box is on my main VLAN. Whereas the IoT stuff, this stuff is usually on a separate VLAN, or yeah, usually on the IoT VLAN. So I have to manually, it'll pick it up. Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually, I'll be honest. Like I said, I haven't been able to use that feature because my stuff's on a different VLAN. So it's basically unaware of what it's doing. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, how are you guys?
Good, just playing with some techie stuff.
Yeah,
if you want,
let me see.
Where is it?
The Raspberry
Pi from the printer's power supply, This is what I use.
Thompson.
DC to DC buck converter. So it goes 1220 volt to
How
5
long have
volt,
you had
5
it?
amp.
How long have you had it running for?
Probably 8
Because
months
that's
now.
I was gonna say. Oh, that's 2023. Okay, sorry. I was like, wait. It said last
yeah,
purchase
20
October 20. Sorry, I thought it was 2024. I was like,
Oh, over a year.
yeah. Okay, well that's good.
So yeah, it's been working fine for a while, and it's only $10.
Yeah, that's not bad at
That
all.
way you can take power from your printer's power supply to power it.
I'll post a link in chat for that. I'm just looking. I'm finding it right now. I found it. I'll post a link in chat. I'm gonna post our affiliate link because you guys can help support us.
Exactly.
We get like I don't even know, like I should check. I like before COVID, like Amazon's affiliate links actually used to be really good. And then like they literally just capped all of the commissions. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you guys don't need to be earning money helping us sell stuff. We're just gonna cap it. It's like
Happy to help.
It still hasn't picked it up.
Yeah, loss. I didn't I'm
gonna replug it. I'm gonna
Neither did you.
This and see. So you can see there, it went right back. This is the default WLED colors, like this orange, yellow, like this warm light.
I need to get some lights for my printers.
That booted up quick. It already like reconnected. Like that was really fast. Oh yeah, okay. So like let's say, so this is cool. So I'm gonna show you guys some cool stuff with WLED. So like remember I told you on my pinballs they are in Home Assistant, but I don't actually control Home Assistant, or I don't set the light color through Home Assistant. So I actually on each one of these, once I figure out what I want to do. So like was it glitter, solid glitter? Yeah, that's the effect I use. So that's the effect I have. Now I don't quite want that fast of an effect. I'm trying to remember where they have the effect settings, because there's an effect setting here. I'm trying to remember where the hell the effect setting is. Oh wait, transition time. Is it 1? Nope, that's not it. There was a way to set the effect setting here.
Oh, but loss. I am printing.
That's not it.
Hopefully the final version of the hinges.
Oh, this is the general illumination. Okay, so this is the glitter color. This is the background color. There's a way to change how fast it transitions. Oh, right here. Duh, effect intensity. So I have them set like, I think like right around like 40. So it's just like occasional. Okay, so let's say I like this preset. This is what I want the WLED device to boot up on. Okay, so as soon as power is applied, I want this to be what it goes into. So I can go here and set preset. I'm going to call this Tim's Blue Glitter. And I'm going to save that to ID1. So I'm going to hit, use current state, include brightness, save segment bounds, save. Now, if I go into here, I think it's LED preferences. There's a startup here, apply preset here. So I hit 1, I hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to just a solid color red. Okay. Now I'm going to unplug it, and it should boot up to that blue glitter. Look at that. So that's how you mess with the presets, and that's how you change what the default startup time is, or what the default startup color and effect is in WLED. So this is what I did. And the nice thing is, even if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can connect to it. It broadcasts its own access point. So you can connect to it and then control it right directly from your phone. So like if you're out somewhere, like let's say like Tor, let's say we wanted to add lighting to our booth at the Rocky Mountain events. We could preset up the controller here and set the effect, store it just like I did. So that way, as soon as we go to the show, we just plug it in and it just starts doing the effect.
Maybe I should design a lamp then.
Am I giving you ideas of
have it
so
just going off at the show and then have little kits?
Yeah, so like I mean I think they're cool. Like and also like these, like when you diffuse the
something like
lights,
that.
it looks cool. And like these are such a nice size. They're not huge, but they're not tiny. Like you can actually make some nice lighting with these little strips. I'd like to make more variants of the Easy Neo, to be completely honest. I'm just
I have
wondering
an idea.
like longer
Select and
ones
turn off
like
light.
hang on, hide on stream. What is that? One of the lithophanes?
Yeah.
I love the colors that come through on that.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. That's
What's
LED.
Oh, hey,
diameter?
hey, chat was right. So I refreshed my Home Assistant and look at WLED. It shows up. Now, here's the thing. I want to change this to not call it just WLED. I think it's under here, user interface. So I'm going to call this. I'm just going to call this smart LED board test because that's what this is. So I'm going to hit save. Get back. Now, if I refresh this, so you guys can't see this, but my title bar up at the top now says Smart LED Board Test. Now, let's see if I'm wondering if Home Assistant's going to pick up the new name or not. That's definitely it. I'm wondering if it'll pick up the new name or if it will. Let me try adding it. Maybe it'll grab it. Do you want to add the device? Add. Yep, yeah, it did. So here we go. So I can tell this is in Tim's office. Put that in there. And then now if I go to WLED here, yeah, you can see here I'd rebooted it. See how these are not on? It's complaining that these it couldn't connect to these. It's not going to be able to. They're powered from the pinball machines. But we can see here, it's this is WLED here. So if I click here, one device, I can rename this here. I'm going to call it Smart. Update that. But here, so you guys can see the strip here in my video here.
Yeah.
Turn it on and off through Home Assistant. I can also dim it or make it full brightness, or I can change it. See, it's still doing the effect. Here's all the effects here. So I can change the effects. So once you're in Home Assistant, you can just change it right in here, and it works the same exact way as the web interface. So it has a direct web interface which you can hit, but so this is going through Home Assistant. So Home Assistant is sending these requests to WLED over the network. Like, look at.
You okay?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Smiling.
Just something in our chat.
Our chat. Which chat?
Teams.
There's a lot of chats.
Something for Blasto to.
But yeah. So there we go. I'm gonna remove this just because I don't need it in here. We just go ahead and hit delete. But yeah, so I can ignore this because these are all Black Hole Flash and Black Knight. Those, if I go down to the theater room here, you can see they're unavailable. But if I turn the pinball machines on, they're on an easy plug. They'll reconnect within like about 30 seconds. They'll connect to the network right away. But Home Assistant will reconnect to them. It keeps like retrying the setup, but you'll see them pop in, and you can kind of see like the lights underneath. See, especially around flasher, you can see the LEDs underneath. You probably won't be able to see the little flashes and stuff, just because the frame rate on the camera is so low. I only run like 15 frames a second, but you can see they're starting to pop in now. But I actually don't control these from Home Assistant. I just have them fire up to their default settings, and then that's it. You have new devices discovered. Oh, look at it, found it again. We don't. It's okay. I don't want you to find it again, but I can hit reload here, and then it'll reinitialize. So they're reconnecting. So Flash came back onto Home Assistant. Black Knight will come in a sec, but it all runs off there. I never turn these on and off through Home Assistant. I just have them here so I can monitor. There we go. It takes a sec sometimes, but they immediately start doing the effect, which is cool. And then I shut them off. Pinball shut off. And and then these will go back unavailable because these are powered off of the pinball cabinets. So, because I don't care if I'm not going to have them on when I'm not using the pinballs. So that's why I just powered them off the pinballs. But yeah, no, it's cool. This is why I like WLED. It's got a lot of cool presets and stuff. So like I can just click that and look at there's my preset back. Now, actually, I didn't realize I didn't put to full brightness. So I can go ahead and save over this. Overwriting Tim's blue glitter. Tim's glitter.
Next
Save.
week is Smurf.
What?
Murph?
Next week is Smurf.
Murph. What
Smurf?
Smurf. Oh, Smurf. Oh, I don't care about
Sanjay
Smurf. Yeah, I'm not
Murph.
going there. I ain't going across the pond for a printing show. So, but yeah, I got to get the pigtails for this for the headers here, but everything's working good, so can't really complain there. It looks nice. But yeah, these will be fully assembled. So you guys will not, I will not be selling you boards where you have to manually assemble surface mount components. That is not my style. Not at all. But basically you'll get the board like this. This is how it'll come. You just plug your ESP on there. It'll be the C3, ESP32 C3 Super Mini, which is my favorite one right now, especially for lights. You pop that on there, plug your LEDs in here, and then put WLED on there and give it power and you're good. So, but yeah, I don't think I did a too bad job. Like, look how nice my soldering is. This is all surface. You know how fucking tiny some of these are? I did this all by hand. Not too shabby, huh?
Here we go, Tim.
Not too shabby. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, and then hey, let's see if my SV06 is still fucking up, because my SV06 Ace, the screen decided. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted, because I do mean it when I tell you that I will post follow-ups if we have issues with the machine. What kind of
Something
weird?
like that. For,
to put the lights on the inside.
So just do a couple mounts on each one, so you have three
that
lights
actually
running.
that would actually be pretty freaking cool. I would have, and when you put them on, I would put them on the same faces.
It's gonna have like a rail, yeah.
Yeah, I have the same faces. So like this one, they're all firing the same direction. They're just pivoted. All right, let's see. Is my SV06 going to behave now, or is it still going to be screwing up? Because the screen was like completely screwing up. I also sent them an email with a link to the video. I'm going to see what they say, because the fact that it's already messing up with literally one print on it. I've done one print. Oh, is it behaving? Is it behaving? Oh, I was getting all sorts of corruption here. I got it on video. And I was also getting it on this screen here. I haven't changed anything.
Hit us up to resale it.
I know, right? It looks like it's behaving now. Maybe I had a temporary issue. I don't know what would be causing it, though, because I haven't changed anything.
Interference on the lines?
From what, though?
Hey, yep.
There's nothing over here that would be doing that, though. That's what I don't get.
In the control box?
In the printer's control box?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it should be doing it like all the time, though.
Thank you.
I haven't moved anything in the control box.
Hey,
okay.
Okay,
it's working fine now, but it does make me a little nervous. Like, okay, it's working right now, but what about like a month from now? Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be doing that.
No, my cell phone, when I'm in here, my cell phone's on my dock over here, and it's like all the way over here. I had it there in the same location when we did the unboxing. Didn't have any issues. We did get our K2 Plus. I know we touched on that. It's sitting in my living room. I don't think I'm going to be able to move that out to my office by myself. It's like 120 pounds, and like
I think it's 135 or so.
The shipping weight said 120 something, I think. But I went like, it's so big, like trying to get your like arms around it to pick it up and move it.
No, I watched the delivery guys drop it off because I was watching the cameras. They were waddling, and it was two of them.
Yeah, it was two guys. Yeah. Okay, I'm excited about this little board. I love LED projects. I wish I had. I should see if I have any temp and humidity sensors too, because I could put ESP Home on here and then do temp and humidity sensors.
I
Sounds
still
like
need to
the
put my-
Beast was light. The Beast is lighter than the K2 Plus box. Like I could lift the Beast up on my own. The Beast is actually lighter than the K2, probably because we have an aluminum frame on it and not steel. Because I'm pretty sure the K2 uses a steel frame, doesn't it? I think that was one of the.
It's like
I
a
think that was.
stamped
I think
frame
that
as
was one of
well.
their. I think that was like one of their selling points. It was a steel frame.
Yeah.
I'm probably. That's a good point. I do have a nice dolly out in the shop that I could go steal. We were gonna do it today, but I wanted to get this done. Tom's waiting on me to get the prototypes assembled, which I've got one done now. I am thinking now I have it assembled and I play with it. I'm thinking about like I said, maybe adding on other headers, but then we got to change the board layout, which is fine. It's just trying not to have too much scope creep, like adding too much shit on. I do think it'd be cool if we had a microphone add-on board to have like reactive sound. So you just plug it onto our expansion header here, and it just has a little microphone, and we have like a little hole in the case where the microphone would go.
Emerson,
Obviously,
I saw that.
huh?
The picture of Emerson moving his K2 with the tractor.
Oh yeah, he was a big ass tractor. Mine does not have a dump on it. So, but yeah. Oh, anyway, so I want to get this done, and then I also have the SV06 Ace sitting here, which I want to mess with and see if I can get into the system. I want to see if I can find a way to get into its eMMC directly and build my own vanilla LCD and Clipper build. So the other thing though is I don't
Actually
know.
use Clipper screen, not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how
full
they're doing the screen, if it's going to like work, but my plan would be to take a backup of the OS image before I mess with anything. So get in there SSH, run a full backup, like dump it to my network server or something, or actually I'll probably do it to the thumb drive. That'll probably be quicker because I think it's only 2.4 gigahertz. So dump the image to the thumb drive. Because the only downside is if I hose the backup, it's not like I can take the memory off easily anyways. I can't just take the memory off and reflash it. I would have to desolder it and then get a board to put it on that would go to USB.
Me. Where's my eMMC module?
Yeah, David, that's exactly the plan with the expansion header is so we can make add-ons. In addition to us making add-ons, users can, like I said, like, oh, I've already got this. Like, let's say you got this in your room and you're like, oh, I want to do a temperature and humidity sensor. Well, you got extra GPIO pins. You just pop them on here. Now, the only downside is WLED does not support temp and humidity sensors. However, if you wanted, well, Home Assistant, what I'm saying is you're limited by what firmware you put on the ESP. So if you do ESP Home, you can drive LEDs and other sensors off of this. But if you're running WLED, it can only drive LEDs and then the microphone input. I don't believe WLED has any like, what's the word I'm looking for? Support for temp sensors. I haven't seen them. I don't know why it would have support for temp sensors. But no, David, the SV06 Ace has a soldered on eMMC module, which I am a really big, I hate it. Like I'm not a big fan of it at all. Because like if that dies, which that's probably going to be the first thing to go on the board, be the memory, depending on how much you're writing to it, especially if you're doing time lapses and all this other stuff. And like Clipper's doing tons of logging. Like,
well, with the SV08, people have already had issues with it and had to reflash their eMMC modules,
right,
and get new ones because people are not shutting down Clipper correctly. Or just power cycle.
Well, that's the other thing too. I didn't think of that. That's that. Fuck, man. Can you imagine? Like,
that was like week one issue with the SV08.
I wonder if I could. I should like power cycle it, like kill it during boot up and stuff, and see if I can get it to crash. Because like, what does Solval do then? Let's say the customer's board, the OS crashed, right? It needs to be reimaged. They don't have any directions I can see for reflashing the image.
They have a guide for the SV08, but I don't think they've put one
This
out
is the
for
SVO6 Ace. Does this? I think this had an SD slot, or is it just USB? It's just USB as far as I can tell.
SVO8
Yeah,
can do off that
it's
SD card.
just USB, which is fine.
Probably, David.
It's probably USB.
But yeah, that's why I bought the eMMC module, not only to increase the storage on the board, but so I can just flash theirs and then reflash it to mainline Clipper with the ability to go back easily.
He got his cone off in the yard somehow.
Oh yeah.
Because he had a cyst on his tail that he was fucking with. And so he went to the doctor and they gave him some antibiotics and some anti-inflammatories and then like a cleaner to put on there. And he was out in the yard, and now we're gonna wrap up in a little bit anyways.
I'd like to know whether it's better convert an Ender 5 to a Mercury 1 or buy the K1C or equivalent. Depends on what you want. If you want an enclosed printer, I would just go with if you want just something to print with, an enclosed K1C. So if you actually want to tinker and like build and play with Clipper and things like that, I would go with the Mercury 1. Personally, I like the Mercury 1 kits. I have 2 of them. They're actually really fun.
Yeah, I have both. I have Mercury's and I have the K1 and the K1 Max. I also had the K1C, and I sold it not because I didn't like it, but because I didn't need it, and I had a buddy who wanted it, so I took that opportunity. I think I just had the test print on it. The only downside of the K1 is repairability long term is going to be dog shit compared to the Mercury 1. The Mercury 1 you're going to be able to fix basically indefinitely. You can put whatever control board you want into it. You can put whatever tool head board, or not even a tool head board. I'm probably not even going to run a tool head board on the 2.5s we're converting. The downside is the assembly time for the Mercury. So it's obviously the K1, you basically take it out of the box and within an hour you're running. The Mercury is going to take time. But what are you doing? Comment was messing with something. Basically, the Mercury is going to be more long-term repairable. The K1, as soon as Creality stops making the control boards for it and the tool head boards and all the other boards that are in the system, because it's got 3. It's got a tool head board, it's got a bed board, and it's got the main control board. So you got 3 different control boards. If any of those go out, there are no drop-in replacements other than the OEM parts to replace them with. So if Creality stops making those parts, which they will at some point, like they typically it seems like they phase their boards out after about a year and a half to 2 years, it seems, because like they're not making a lot of the 8-bit boards anymore. They're phasing out. They phase out some of the very early 32-bit boards. Like if you have a CR10S Pro, good luck finding a replacement board for that. They don't exist.
I've had plenty of people reach out to us. Like,
they don't exist.
Nope.
You can't find them. Like you might find some new old stock or used ones. But that's the problem with these printers going proprietary is basically if you can't get them, you're going to be doing a shit ton of work, which most people are not going to do. They're going to throw the printer out and buy a new one, which just creates more waste and crap, which I'm not a fan of. So, but like I said, I like my K1s. I'm just dreading the day when one of those boards go out. Like I'm honestly probably just going to order an extra tool head board and a bed board since they both take the same one. And the K1 Max is a slightly different control board than the K1. But yeah, and the thing is, I don't see many companies. I don't think any of these companies, including us, there's really not. You're not going to get your return on your investment doing a board for like a couple of printer models. So people are just not going to make aftermarket boards for them. Like Big Tree Tech, I think did one printer specific board for like the 2 CR6 models that came out, and it was just a flop. The
only one I really see Big Tree Tech doing like replacement setup for
Bamboo
are the Bamboo printers,
because there's so many of
them.
And
X1. There's so many of them out there, and Bamboo has already stated that they're going to be killing off support for them in the next few years.
Right. Well, and that's the problem. So like imagine right now your Bamboo, your tool head board dies, right? And you can't get a replacement from Bamboo. What do you do?
$1,000.
What are you doing with that printer? Because I'm not going to go through and retrofit it with another tool head board, because then I'm also having to change the main control board. Like, if you can't get the original, is Matt frozen? Oh, Jesus! Just his eyes moved. I was like, that was really creepy. But like, seriously, if let's say like you guys cannot get another, let's say a tool head board dies in your bamboo, you cannot get another one. What are you doing with it? Are you just going to junk it? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to get tossed, or there's some parts. I mean, there's not a ton of parts you can use on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Unless you buy it in bulk before it runs out.
Yeah, but that only lasts so long. It's not like you can repair them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no easy path to repair or upgrade on these. Yeah. And it's the same story.
A bearing, like 5-cent bearing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now.
It's like $5.
$80.
Okay?
It's $80.
It's like $5 bearing.
$80, and you have to replace the entire top part.
Oh yeah, they're selling the whole gantry. Yeah. So we actually have a K1 in right now. I'm waiting on the bushings to come in, where I think the guy lubricated the rods, which you're not supposed to because they're the brass graphite self-lubricating one. So gumped it up, and basically the X loses steps because there's so much mechanical resistance on there. Like looking at tear down videos and stuff where people have gutted the K1s, they're way, way more user-friendly to work on in terms of mechanical replacement parts than the bamboos. Like the bamboos are not designed in mind with repairing them. They want you to throw it out and buy a new one so they can keep taking your money every couple of years when you buy a new printer. That's what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Like,
it's like the cell phone companies. Oh, buy the new iPhone 16. It's the same thing. It looks basically the same. It's just basically the same thing. We just, put another megapixel on the camera that doesn't really fucking matter, and we called it a bigger number, and you guys are all gonna buy it because you're sheep. Like,
it's like it's not any faster. Want. It's that they're slowing down your old one, and your battery's dying.
Yeah. Like I said, when we were talking about Prusa, I'm not a huge fan of Prusa's printers. However, it looks like they're going to be one of the few manufacturers around making printers that are actually going to be able to be repaired and upgraded by the end user, which, like, I did not see that coming.
With buying, like, off-the-shelf parts and not having to buy $80 top parts for your printers for a bearing.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, Creality has basically, I feel like at this point, Creality has basically left the DIY market. Like the people that made them big, like everybody buying the shitty Enders, like the Enders, they were a good deal, but they were shitty printers, okay, until you upgraded them. Okay. I have a lot of them. I can call them shit. They were shitty printers. They were okay. They were cheap. They were cheap, shitty Chinese printers. However, they were very modifiable and they were upgradable and you could work on them. Except now Creality's printers are getting better, but they're all now proprietary. I'm pretty sure every single model that's come out, they have proprietary shit on. And it started with, like, they started doing it on the CR10S Pro, and then they did it on the CRX where they started moving to ribbon cables. And then, like, the whole Ender 3 S1 line is all ribbon cables going to the hot end. Like, I don't know if there's any other companies out there that their new models of printers are, like, going to be repairable. So, like, yeah, it's what do you do? It's just it creates tons of e-waste for one. Like,
yeah. So like I was saying, for that one bearing, this is what you have to replace.
You have to take the whole damn top of the printer off.
Yep.
For a bearing.
$80 and this is for one bearing that went bad.
Oh,
there's no
dear
serviceability with it.
Yeah, it's not designed with serviceability in mind. It's designed with, hey, your printer's fucked. Do you want to spend tons of time swapping a part out because we made it hard to work on, or do you just want to buy a new printer? That's where they're at.
I have my bamboo printers now for a year and a half going on to. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had no problems, no repairs or nothing.
They're all going to wear out. All the printers, regardless of the brand, they're going to wear out.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, compared to the old ones like my G-Tech, I mean, gee, every 3 months I had to replace something on that thing.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
G-Tech. There's a reason there's a reason
Like,
they're
don't get
not
me
around
wrong,
anymore.
Bamboos are deep. They're really solid printers. They've forced the market to make better printers as well.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
so
they're
here's
quality
the
printers.
thing though. The bearings that are going out on these P1s and X1s, they know that they're an issue and they know that they fail because they changed the design and they changed the bearing in the higher end version. So basically, like, they know it's a problem. It seems like it's planned obsolescence. You know what I mean?
Like that's why even with the next Bamboo coming out in the next few months, like I'll look at it, I'll look it over, I won't buy it. At this point, I'm just going all DIY clipper machines or whatever. Not like I have. How much time do I have on my Trident now?
I can't track the
Trident.
time of my printers because when I wipe them and upgrade them, it's yeah.
Gone. Oh, even on my SV08, I think I'm at 800 hours on the SV08, 600 on the Trident.
I got like 3,000 on each, roughly.
750 on the SV08 and 600 on the Trident. How much do I have on P1?
I got like 3,000 hours on each printer.
Yeah, once you hit, so I'm told once you hit on the Bamboos, you get in the 4,000 to 5,000 range. That's when those bearings start going that people are replacing, or not replacing, but like that they're trying to replace. Does that make sense? So it's like the 4,000 to 5,000, and I've talked to guys that own print farms with tons, like we're talking 50 plus, and they all have said that they've had the bearing. It's in the back, I think either back left or back right. It's an idler bearing. It's just a basic ass
that's
idler
what
bearing.
failed. That started the whole
right. So and here's the crazy thing. I have Creality printers here. I've Shitty Ender 3s here with like tens of thousands of hours because these machines are almost 7 years old now. And those bearings are original. Think about that. Little shitty 100, depending on what I paid for them, anywhere from $100 to $200, have tens of thousands of hours on them.
Now in the future, I mean, all the new models have the new ones, right?
What's that?
All the new models. I mean, let's say all the P1Ss and the P1Ps, what they're now produced, the new ones.
They do it. They're using the same shitty bearings in the P1s and the X1s. The only way to get the newer design is to go with the X1E. That's it. My buddy Mike that was on here was telling me about this because he's one of the guys that deals with a ton of Bamboo printers, and he was one that also said that they were seeing failures of that bearing on the P1 and the X1s around 4,000 to 5,000 hours. And then if you look at the bearing design on the bearing itself and the design of the whole gantry on the X1E, it's different in that spot. So they're selling the consumers the one that they know is going to break. It seems like it's planned obsolescence. Like they know it's a problem. It's going to last about 5,000 hours and it's going to totally shit the bed. It's a huge pain in the ass to replace. Just get a new printer. Here's our new X2. Buy this. Give us another $1,000. You're basically going to be paying like $500 to $600 a year to buy a new printer. If you average it out over the time, Like I want to get 5-6 years out of my machine. I don't want it to be dying in a year or two. And it really depends on how much you print. If you don't print much, you'll get years out of it, right? But if you're running it all the time, you're going to wear it out really quick. It really comes down to how much you're printing because it's not a time thing. It's more of a usage on the machine. It's not like, I've had this for 10 years and I've never had a problem with it. Oh, but you only got like 3,000 hours on it. Well, that's why. If you had 10,000 hours on it, things would have started breaking a long time ago. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, I'm going to pop back off now because I'm getting tired.
Oh, yeah, because you're way ahead of
us.
us.
Like 1 a.m.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm going to wrap this up in a sec anyways.
I
just wanted to kind of...
I wish everybody in chat good night and good evening and see you tomorrow.
Thanks for hanging out.
Show.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. So in the U.S. anyway. You guys don't celebrate that over there, do you?
No.
Yeah,
it's an American thing.
Yep, that's what I thought.
We get it like something.
Well, Canada has their own.
too. So.
Yeah.
All right. Bye,
So-
everyone.
Bye, Matt.
Have a good one. Check
But
your bearings
yeah.
in the extruder. I bet it's shredding reddish rust looking stuff. We've replaced our extruders.
Yeah, so I have ours, and the funny thing was, we saw so many people that had issues even after they replaced the gears on your gear set. They were like, "Oh, it's still not printing right," and then it's the bearing. So that's why our bamboo extruder kits now include bearings, is because most of the time people's bearings are screwed. And I took mine out; it was crunchy. It was still printing okay, but it was crunchy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got 1,300 hours on my P1S.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's mostly just doing multicolor prints when I do them. So most of the time right now, I'm printing either the Trident or the SV08.
Yeah. I have a guy that we printed stuff for bitching at me because the models are too small, even though he's the one who sent me the models. Format your files correctly, bud. God. People. Yeah, these aren't even close. I mean, like, I don't know how big something's supposed to be. You send me a file, you tell me to print it, I put in the slicer. You know, we prep the file and I print it. If the size is off, you should have sent me a correctly sized file.
Or mention how big it needs to be.
Even then, I'm not resizing their file, because like it had like things that socketed in. There's like movable parts, and sometimes those don't scale well. I'm not messing. I'll usually tell somebody, hey, then resize the model and send it to me. So, yeah, all he told me was that they were under 7 inches tall, which one is 208 millimeters in the slicer when I pull it in, and the other one's like 114. So, which 208, hang on. 208 millimeter. Yep. He says it's about 8 inches tall. That's what it is. Which actually, I just realized he said that they're under 7, but then the one imports at like 8.18.
Are those extruder kits going back in stock for the X1 P1?
What's that?
David, are those extruder kits going back in stock? Are you talking about for the X1 P1 extruders?
I have to order them. They basically Black Friday ran through way quicker than I thought, and we sold through stock. I also know somebody bought I know we shipped a couple orders that had a multiple of them on there, which just ate up the stock. But
yeah,
usually it takes, if I ordered them, I don't know if they're on tonight, but if my suppliers are on tonight, usually it takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to get stuff in. Could be quicker. Like once it's shipped, it depends if they have to be made for us, if like they're made already or not. But yeah, like 2 to 3 weeks. You can sign up to be notified, and we will. I was checking I'm in our site trying to multitask here.
but yeah, don't get me wrong. I do love my.
Yeah, I don't have any of those on order. We sold through those really quick.
Sold through a few things. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they wanted TPU. I was like, okay, this is the last roll, but they kept having like dozens of questions about other stuff. By the time they finally got to order, it sold out.
Were they mad at you? Because I've had people that are like, I waited too long, now I can't get it. I want the price. Like, dude, I don't have any more stock. Like, I'm
no,
not...
I even told them that it was the last one when I sent them the link.
Yep. Well, luckily we got a bunch of filament coming in probably about 3 to 4 weeks. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I know Emerson want to jump in, but honestly, it's an hour and 20 minutes, and I want to get back to prototyping some stuff. And I'm getting hungry. I need to eat something.
I need to eat something too. I didn't have any. My Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a party last we had like a Thanksgiving party last weekend, and so literally for Thanksgiving we just took it easy. And I ordered. Oh, I have leftover Marco's pepperoni pizza. We had Marco's pepperoni pizza with cheesy breadsticks and their Ghirardelli brownie for dessert, which is like it's a chocolate chip chip brownie with chocolate Ghirardelli chocolate sauce on top of it. It's actually really delicious.
Not sure what I'm gonna have tonight, but I think I
Like Krista didn't even want meat. She's like, sorry, water went down the wrong way. I was like, well, I can make us dinner. I was like, we got tons of meat and stuff in the freezer and whatnot. I was like, she's like, no, I don't want to make any dishes. I just want to make it easy. I was like, okay. I was like, well, what do you want? She's like, I don't know. I was like, well, Chinese or pizza? And pizza was pizza was open. So I was like, okay, cool. So I get to have some leftover pizza. I'm gonna reheat it in our new. We got one of those like air fryer, convection oven, toaster oven combo things. You what?
I love my air fryer.
We have an air fryer, but like we don't have room to leave it on the counter, so it like gets when we want to use it, we go in the room around the corner, pull it off the shelf, set it on the counter, and plug it in just temporarily. But this has like it's like everything, and it does a good job at air frying. I was actually really surprised because usually the all-in-ones, it's like, like. You know,
I noticed that like if I use like the baking function or anything like that, I have to put it like at 5 minutes less or something.
Yeah, well, because if it's got the fan circulating it, it's going to cook quicker. So yeah, no, like,
and it's closer to the heater because
hey, we're talking about food now. This is a perfect wrap-up stream. No, in all seriousness, though, if you guys ever have leftover pizza, doing it in just a basic toaster oven or even just your regular oven, like it makes it like honestly, I think it tastes just as good as it was fresh. Like, but whereas like microwaving it, it's always soggy. Like you don't get that sogginess reheating pizza with like a convection oven or a toaster oven. So I prefer an airless fryer. I have a small one. I have a regular fryer. I don't use it too often because it's such a pain to clean. Like you got all the oil.
I just have like the little paper tray or the like parchment paper inserts. Throw that in there, and I almost never have to clean it.
Oh yeah, because you can just take it out. Yeah.
Just toss the paper.
All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. You got anything else to add?
Have a good one. I need food as well.
You need food? Yeah, I'm gonna have some. What's it called? I'm gonna have some leftover pizza in a sec here. So, but all right, buddy. Thanks for watching. As always, have
a good weekend.
Yep, have a good weekend. Bye. Oh, and shop our sale. It ends tomorrow night. It ends. So it's running today and ends tomorrow night. So after that, that's it. The sale's done. All the discounts are gone. So if you guys want something and it's in stock, you should buy it now. Also, if you leave an order note, I'll make Tor reply to your order. I'll have him personally call you and thank you for your order.
I had a lot of calls today.
No, that's good. Yeah, we were busy out there boxing up orders. Jordan and I were flying through freaking orders. So,
oh yeah.
But all right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Hope you guys have a great weekend. As always, happy printing. Bye bye. It didn't end the stream because Tor left. If somebody leaves, it cancels ending the stream. I just realized that. I wonder if that's what happened when we haven't gone off air.